So bad earnings and bad news could be creating some really good opportunity in stocks like UPS, 3M, Kimberly-Clark, and even Archer Daniels Midland. Stick around in the video and I'll get into some of the things going on and what I think on them. Good morning. My name is Adam Kahn and I'm the Rational Investor. I hope you guys are all doing well. I feel kind of lousy, so I might try to get through this pretty quickly. Forgive me. Uh, Not sure what happened, but I've been feeling a little bit sick, which is why I didn't do a video yesterday. I was going to my son's swim meet and some guy sneezed right like I don't know that I got sick from him, but all I thought is what a jerk. Like we all sneeze, but the way it happened, I'm just like, hey, buddy, really? You're not gonna, whatever. Um, so before I get into the video, if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. I really appreciate the support. As you guys know, not just from what I say, but from lots of YouTube videos, that helps other people find it. That helps YouTube's algorithm. And if you're enjoying the content, I really appreciate the help. So this morning, UPS reported earnings and they weren't as good as expected. At the same time, they still raised the dividend a penny, which tells me that their earnings are just fine in terms of being able to pay the dividend. But their forward guidance wasn't so wonderful easy either, which has caused the stock to really drop a good bit today. Now, I don't think I'm really ready to buy it today. And before I even get into all of my thoughts, keep in mind this is not financial advice. You guys need to make your own decisions when you're doing any research on your own financial products. You can't just listen to me. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing what I find and the information that I think. But that doesn't mean it's good for you or that you should even follow it. So, really, you need to do your own research. So that being said, it's put it on my screen because, UPS is a good company and what I look for, because I'm really a long-term investor. Those of you who think you're a long-term investor, but when a stock goes up a little bit, sell it, that's really different than what I'm talking about. So when really good companies such as UPS have bad earnings or bad news and the stock drops a good bit, I sometimes see that as an opportunity to buy some. My main concern with UPS is competition from companies like Amazon or potentially Walmart, where they're going to start doing more of the deliveries themselves. But that being said, they're a great company that's been around a long time. Their earnings seem to be okay. I think I even saw that they're going to let go a bunch of employees, which sucks on one level, but on the other level should help their earnings. So it's something that at least what I tend to do is I might buy a share just to put it on my screen and start paying attention to see if I think there might be a good opportunity. Same with 3M. They had a little bit of a rough earning and guidance as well. They're in a lawsuit currently, but they've fallen back below $100 a share. Um, to me, that seems like a decent level to be considering getting into some. I already own 3M, full disclosure. I don't know that I'll be adding on, but it looks attractive when it gets to these levels. Keep in mind, this week is like crazy with all the earnings that are coming out. I mean, today's going to be Alphabet or Google, as I still think of them as, Match.com, and some others. The whole week is pretty much all the big boys. So I'm very excited to see how things play out for the rest of the week. Last week Kimberly-Clark reported, and that beat up their stock pretty good to the point again. These are just good companies that have been around a long time. If you plan to keep it for 5, 10, 20 years, I think that they're going to continue to sell Kleenex and the other items that they sell. I think they're entrenched in what they do, and I think they'll be just fine in the long run. And then I had already done a video on Archer Daniels Midland last week, and some people don't like it because there's a little bit of fear out there as to what's really going on. They put their chief financial officer on suspension and they're investigating the earnings. It seemed like a certain segment of their sales, they're questioning if there's some you know, shady stuff going on. So odds are, if they're investigating it and they put him on suspension, there probably were some things going on that shouldn't have been happening. But what I see is that creates a good opportunity. When I look at the volume and how many shares traded on the day that was announced, that was huge blow off volume. So I did pick some up. I'm not saying you guys should. And then since the volatility was higher than usual, I actually sold some calls against it. Now, those of you who've paid attention to some of my other videos and some of the things I talked about, I picked up more shares than I sold calls against because that's the type of company I want to own forever. At the same time, my thought is the volatility is going to be higher than it normally is, so I might be getting some good premium in the options as well. I actually sold some puts to get into the position on top of the fact that I had bought some also. Archer Daniels Midland, I think they're a really good company, and I probably want to own them for the next 5 or 10 years. I have no issue with the company, and the fact that they have some shady things going on and people are going to be nervous, the real investors and the hedge funds and everything else, they don't like a lack of clarity. So my guess is they're going to be much more nervous than they should be, and when things pan out, they'll pan out. And odds are they still make a decent amount of money and they'll move on, and in a year or two people have forgotten about it. But in the meantime, I see it as making the stock discounted, and I try to buy things when they're discounted. I tend to go with companies like Google and Amazon and Facebook and things like that because my hope is their growth potential is better. At the same time, why wouldn't I pick up a great company at a discounted price? Anyway, again, I'm really not feeling great, so I'm going to kind of call it a quits there. If you could hit that subscribe button and the like button, make some comments. Let me know if there's companies out there that also got beat up that I may have missed, because I see that as the good opportunity. I think earnings for one quarter and projections of future earnings aren't always, like, people overreact to that stuff. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next day or two.